Welcome to Destroy Red Card. We didn't do the intro.
No, we did not.
Probably throwing you for a loop here, Derek.
You did. I was still doing things down here. I'm like,
I can throw up now if you want.
Where's the music?
I came to the realization that after you were like down, I was like, welcome to them. Like, oh shit, I didn't actually play the intro.
Oh, yeah. I was going to pretend my
God, you miss one day of live streaming. You're it goes out the fucking window.
Out of practice.
God.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere. Well,
Thanks,
that's
Pete.
okay.
Thanks, Filippo. Appreciate that.
What'd they do?
There was a game, so they did the live stream.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't them.
No, it wasn't but we didn't want to do one at the same time.
Yeah, and as 8-Bit Jeff pointed out on Twitter, he goes, Pete and Filippo are top-notch play-by-play commentators on YouTube. And I'm like, that's one of the reasons why we don't interrupt them. And we all have our scheduled shows, and if there's a game that happens to fall on our live stream time, we're happy to.
Yeah,
because we don't do live game by game stuff.
And both Filippo and Sam have rearranged the shows of some of their times of their shows in the past for us. So no intro. Sorry, I still have to think of an intro.
That's my bad, guys.
Random facts.
So this is something that I thought was interesting because I posted this this weekend or recently. It happened yesterday actually because it was during all the games. But the halftime song during the CONCACAF U20s, I made the joke how it sounded like it should be at the end of a Star Wars episode or Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
where like
that vibe.
Luke, Chewie, and Han are all walking down. They're going to get their medals and shit. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it did. It does feel like that. But, they probably just sort of copied sort of a Star Wars song because, like all things CONCACAF, they try to keep it as cheap as possible. Cheap as possible.
Yeah.
Can't afford VAR for the small countries. All right.
I stand firm. The countries that are going to consistently be in like qualifying and Gold Cup. Well, the Gold Cup we don't have to worry about because it's in the U.S. But in general, I feel like the big three, maybe even the big five, could front the bill to pay for 2 or 3 people sitting up in a booth watching cameras.
No problem.
How much does that really cost?
Yeah. I think it's the really, really, really tiny islands, that are probably the ones that can't afford it. Although a place like Aruba, they have all kinds of tourist money. So you'd think that government should be able to flip.
Maybe not so much over the past 2 years, but
the straight red card is back. Get your kids. Call your friends. It's actually hide your kids would probably be more apt. Call your friends. Check your pictures. Have a yank. Straight red card is back. And did you know a velvet ant isn't an ant, but a wasp? GGG for president. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, Greg. Well, you know what? If he gets him out of this job, why not? He's going to have something to do after this World Cup is over, right? Because, according to Pete and according to you,
I would certainly
nobody should get more than one term, one cycle. And Pete agrees with you, but he said there's an exception to that. And that is if they do a super job and then they get to stay. But I did catch chunks of Pete's show last night, but we were recording ours during his, so I couldn't really watch it all. So I heard he did like numerous impressions, and I'm going to have to go back because I missed them. But somebody did tell me about this part of the show.
Hold on one sec. I got to share the audio, don't I?
You do.
Oh, I did not do that.
Thank you. You know who you are, who give me the heads up on this. and for sending me the timestamp, too, because I didn't know I was mentioned.
You'd have to watch the nearly 3-hour video just to find it at the end at that.
Yeah. So apparently this is about who should coach the men's national team.
You for the endorsement. What about Deschamps? I think give him an interview. Right? He's got a track record of success. Derek Rishi would 100% be my number one pick for national team coach.
Yes.
He'd be hilarious. He'd give us some gems. And just let him smoke weed on the touchline.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah,
There you go. Put your name in the hat. See
I
if USSF will approve it.
don't know if they'd let me smoke weed on the sideline, but yeah,
I don't think they'll give you the coaching gig either.
Oh hell no! After all the nasty things I've said about U.S. soccer for the last 25 years, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. They remember me. I'm on a list somewhere, but hopefully it's on paper in a cabinet that's like from 1999 and 2006 or 4, and they just forgot me for the most part. That would be nice if they did, but I doubt, since we brought the show back, that I know the turd knows who we are. So I'm imagining that if the turd knows who we are, then so does U.S. soccer. Pete drinks beer with ice. I know, that freaked me out.
I didn't even know that was that beer?
That's what he said, I believe, because I watched more of the chunks today. I didn't get through the whole thing.
Well, maybe maybe the hydration aspect of the Coors Light isn't enough, and you just need to add a couple chunks of ice.
I mean, it's already water to begin with, so I guess it's watered down a little. That would have been nice. I don't know what kind of beer he was drinking.
And I'm gonna say, maybe in his defense, all he had, and I'm not sure what type of beer it was. Maybe he only had a Coors Light, and it wasn't 32 degrees, which is what they advertise.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, well, I need to get this cool. I can't choke this crap down otherwise.
Oh, what if his fridge wasn't working? Or maybe he just brought the beer home from the store and hadn't put it in the fridge yet. So he had like lukewarm beer. And it's hot in California right now. And that would be gross.
Well, I wouldn't do it with any of the big three shit. Ugh.
No. Oh, I mean, listen, my dad drinks, what the hell was that? It's a Miller.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada last time I was there.
Yeah, that's true. We did have some of that. And they always have Corona there as well, because it's refreshing.
There it is.
Refreshing. With Sam Adams, and he said the beer was warm. Ugh. I mean, Sam,
I don't know. For educational purposes and for the chat, of course, I would try a warm Sam Adams just to see.
I would try a room temperature.
Oh no! I guess when you think of warm beer, you're probably
like
more often than not you're probably thinking of room temperature. It's not like it was like sitting out in the sun and he pulled it out,
Unless the room temperature was 85 or 80, then it's too warm for me. That sounds kind of gross. But Sam Adams is not a horrible beer. It's really not. It's not a bad beer. But my dad drinks this Miller, whatever, 40. What is it called? Not a 40, but it's called. It's one of the.
I would love it. I would love to see your dad holding up like Edward 40 hands, like, "What's happening, Derek?"
Oh man, my dad's hardcore, man. He's double fisting 40s, Colt 45, and
straight out Indiana. What up?
But when that shit's really cold, it is kind of refreshing. Even though it's doesn't taste like anything.
Hey, we all need to hydrate. We all need to keep our body the levels up. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Now, I did hear a guy on ESPN FC today use this term. I wonder if you've ever heard it. Now, he is English, so keep this in mind. He said, this is about somebody who went to a certain team but didn't do that well. He said he went there, but he didn't fluff any trees. He didn't fluff any trees? The fuck does that mean? I've never heard that. That's got to be.
He's talking about
British.
He's talking about long peen. So
I guess so. I don't know.
The only time I ever hear the word fluff.
So if you're English out there, if I haven't chased you away out yet from this show,
well,
don't
worry. They may be pushing you away.
Yeah, I know. I've been getting some shit lately from them, including on the YouTube page. And I guess I earned it in a way by calling them a bunch of names. But I wasn't talking about all of them. I was talking about specific ones, just like this piece of crap. This dude, Big T. His name stands for titties, big titties. All right, because he's overweight. He has man boobs.
Perhaps toddler.
He's got moobs. That's what he's got. Big titties. And he said, imagine calling it soccer. I don't have to imagine it. We've been doing it for years, and we got the name from you butthole.
Centuries.
Get out, mate. Get out, mate. L team. I'm guessing that means loser team. L, loser. That's so original. Loser, contre. Can you do
the 90s one is insult back?
Yeah. Can you do a British accent with with the Valley Girl thing?
No, I can't
Lose
do
the
it.
team, lose the country, lose the culture, mid food. Oh, you like our food middle
You
of the
sound
way,
like you're
kind
from
of?
London.
I know. Okay, I know you guys like your food. Well, if we like our food, why do you have man boobs? Christian Pulisic is actually so bad. God, this guy's like he's trolling really hard. Okay, first of
At
all,
least you didn't say literally so bad.
I'm so fine with all of these, except for don't fuck with our food. All right, all you guys got is fish and chips, and what's the other one? Spotted dick.
Spotted dick.
Yeah, I mean, and you named it Spotted Dick. All right, I mean, I don't know.
Choke that down.
Hey, come merchant, hit him right where it hurts. 4-0, hungry.
Well, I mean, and Derek rightfully went back and said, "Dude, guys, you're the one that coined the term."
Yeah, we didn't come up with that.
He goes, "Well, times change. Unfortunately, it is in 1875." So it makes it sound like he's sad that it's no longer called soccer in England. That's what it sounds like to me. Well, times change. Unfortunately, we call it football now.
You want to live in 1875? Go ahead, motherfucker. I'm glad World War I is over. I don't want to go through that again. And that happens, about 40 years after, the number you just put down. Anyhow, yeah, I guess, the Brits, some of the Brits. Hey, we've got lots of British friends, English friends, Scottish friends.
I mean,
we never bust on the Scottish that much. Though.
I'm all for banter, but that was just bad.
Yeah, if you're gonna come at us, come at us. That's weak ass shit. All right,
we got some news about our good friend of the channel, Owen Otasawi.
Oh, the male model from the United States playing at Club Brugge. And look, oh my God, that's in Flemish. Yes, I said Flemish. I didn't accidentally say Belgian.
It's Dutch. It's in Dutch. Now it's in Dutch English.
It's a Dutch Flemish. Okay, Owen Otasawi gets another chance after disappointing first season. Another chance to what?
To model all their jerseys. The new jerseys line, I guess. I don't know.
Man, the dude needs to chill his attitude. I'm telling you, Brett. This guy's out of control.
I feel like Owen must have went to management and said, "Hey, man, I know I got another year of my contract and everything. This whole modeling thing didn't pan out. Can I continue trying to fight for my spot, please?"
Yeah, I heard he had some family stuff too. I don't know if that's true or not. But what we do know is mostly true from
an entire season, though.
Oh, I don't know. But what we do is know is mostly true is that when he was called up by Gregg and Gregg said, "All right, we want to try you at center back," he said, "No, you don't say no to Gregg. If the head coach of the team asks you to try to play center back in practice, you do it." I know the guy's got an attitude. He needs to fix it.
Who the fuck do you think you are? I mean, we're not Berhalter apologists by any means or anything like that. But
no, but
any coach comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, we're going to try you at a goalkeeper. You cool with that? Put me on the field, coach."
Does it get me on the team? I'll try. Give it a shot. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this with Dwayne Holmes, and this is from a good source too. Having a fucking yelling match with Berhalter at practice, and then Dwayne Holmes never gets called again. So you can't fuck around. We've seen it with Brooks. You can't be a frumpy dumpy when you get yanked off at halftime because you're not having a good game, and give you some lip and probably some bad eyes and God knows what else you say, and then you never get called up again. That's how it works. Or as Matthew Huppy found out, you don't say, "Hey, I'm the best fucking player out there" when you get there, taken off in the 70th minute or whatever it was. And he was the best player on the pitch actually at the time too during that game. So Taylor Booth in training for his new club, FC Utrecht. This is a really good move for Booth. It really is. I think this is going to work out. He went to Austria, and granted it was not a very good team in Austria, but when he was there, he performed and he played very well. And is that a permanent move or a loan? Is that a loan from Bayern? I don't know.
It didn't say loan, but it didn't say transfer either. So he's just with his new club. So maybe he'll transfer. I'd have to look at transfer market, I guess.
I don't know why Bayern would hold on to him any longer. He's not going to make the big boy team.
No, and he's not gonna pull in a massive transfer fee by any means.
No, but I mean he can't stay at Bayern forever. He's going to be too old.
Taylor
at some
Boots
point.
is still listed as Bayern 2 on transfer market, so it must be a loan.
Wow, must be okay. Well, that's not a bad place to go. Honestly,
Maybe Bayern. Oh, here we go. Fee transfer. Never mind. It looks like he got transferred.
Okay.
So 1.1 mil. Interesting.
That's a decent amount of cash.
Not too shabby. Yeah. All of his loans were like in the low hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, but I guess
Bayern probably got that offer, and they're like, sold.
Yeah, 1.1 million for that kid. Okay, yeah, go ahead. So we'll see what happens.
You want me throwing that kid over there too, or something?
We got a couple other Americans playing. Do you want those too? No, they're not going to do that to Malik. And we'll see where he goes. But he needs a loan. Malik needs a loan as well. And I hope he gets out of there. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess while we're talking about U.S. men's national team news here, FIFA decided to post a picture of Pulisic. You happen to catch a bit of this, but I quickly switched off because it was too funny, and I wanted to get your honest reaction to it.
All right,
here's what FIFA World Cup posted. Their legit Twitter handle.
What the fuck is that? Is that supposed to be Ronaldo?
And thanks to Yabi for posting this, man. Oh my god, what the fuck?
That's a Ronaldo hairdo.
Yeah, it is a Ronaldo.
The original Ronaldo, not the second Ronaldo. Wow! No, don't do that. Do not do that, Christian. Oh,
is that a worse haircut than the cheetah?
Yes.
Dye?
Yes, it is.
The 2002 Backstreet Boy reunion tour. Hair dye.
It's a reverse balding hairdo. I don't get it. You're not balding. Why make yourself bald?
It's a shame. It's a shame seeing the hairline, quite frankly, and seeing where it falls in the forehead. Because I would kill for that.
Me too. But it just looks like a giant eyebrow. That's what it looks like. And it didn't look good on Ronaldo either. In that World Cup when he did that. So
John says that's better than his hair now. That's what I was questioning.
I don't know about that. At least he has one.
Pulisic appears, as of right now, like I said, he appears to be a backup singer to Backstreet Boy reunion tour.
Yeah, I don't like the frosted tips.
Yeah. It's so bad. Whatever.
Abyss. That's criminal.
Fortunate for them. They're young and it'll grow back.
All right. Do we have any other questions before we
got some U20 coverage real quick before we jump into everything? Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got a lead into our men's national team.
Who are we playing in the Nicaragua, right?
Nicaragua. Okay.
Well, that should be a win.
Saturday.
Should be a win.
So in bad news, Vargas is out with back injury. He's not coming in to join the U20s and knockout stages.
Man, did Schmetzer just hit him with a bat in the back?
Stand still. Whack! Can't play, coach.
Good. Back on our team.
Yeah. Don't worry. You'll heal properly. We'll sub you in the weekend. You'll be fine.
This sounds very eerily like the Brooks back injuries. Coach?
Yeah.
Can you hammer me in the back with a club so I don't have to go? Mm-hmm. Or the actual real thing was, they didn't pick me. I got to come up with an excuse. Well, he picked me, but he wanted me to be a bench player, and I told him to fuck off. What is Derek spitting on? Spitting?
Oh, Sparkle, you've mistyped. You meant to say who.
What the fuck was that? I've been out of the porn game for years. I don't spit on anybody anymore. Home porn.
All right, so Vargas is out. That sucks.
That
on
does
other
suck.
news, apparently, and I haven't seen any evidence of this, but apparently on U.S. men's national team Twitter, just people who post for that, not the actual handle itself.
Okay,
but apparently there are people that are saying that Sullivan deserves to be on the 2022 World Cup.
No, he doesn't.
Wait, what?
Just because he finished 3 times?
He scored 3 goals against Cuba?
I mean, in the porn world, that's a lot of finishing. I have to say, in one scene. But, outside of the fact that 2 of those passes he should have scored no matter what. Like, if I were his age, I would have finished that as long as I had made those runs. Now, the last run was a smart run on his part, and that took a lot of skill and great timing, and it was a great pass by Aronson and a rather decent goal. So, but no, he's not going to be playing on this team.
No!
I just don't think so.
God, no, the U20 game overlaps the women's national team game.
Listen, the guy doesn't even play for his fucking team in MLS, so you can't have him. He's got to play regularly, score goals. Who's CK finish? Should he be on the Qatar roster? Yes,
he did catch the opposition off guard too, man. Like, oh, what the fuck? And goal! Son of a bitch.
Do you mind if I,
But yeah, so again, so Sullivan did he have a brace against St. Kitts, or was it one goal?
I thought it was two.
I thought he had a brace, and he scored 3 against Cuba. He's got to be in the running for the Golden Boot at this point, which is sad because the only competition we've actually faced so far, which has been Canada, oddly enough, he looked garbage in absolute trash. He did. No, that's not saying he's a trash player. I'm just saying it was a bad game. That's all, folks.
It's a bad game. He had a bad game, and he had, most of his performances were pretty poor, except for those 3 goals. Those were his highlights.
The thing. We talked about this yesterday. It's hard to discredit his game since he scored 3 goals.
Yep.
But outside of those 3 goals, and he played only one half, the rest of the half was just meh.
He needs to. I hope he did buy Aronson breakfast in the morning, and then he went out and he bought Clark lunch, and then for dinner he bought Alvarado, dinner, because those were dimes. Those were fucking dimes. You got to finish that. You got to finish those goals. What did you guys think of the U20 midfield in the first half yesterday? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, we talked about. I was really happy with the trio that was out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to have issues with. Now, I guess the big issue here is that we're seeing these 3 games, and we've talked about our biggest competition so far has been against Canada, a team that had 2 opportunities on us and happened to score.
Those weren't really opportunities. Those were a fucking clown show that ended up in goals.
Exactly. So we haven't really been challenged enough to sit here and say, well, our midfield has been stellar so far. The 3 that played in Cuba or against Cuba, they were great. But it was against Cuba, and Cuba had almost no chances against us at all.
And that was Alvarado,
Puskas,
and Zacharias. Why does that guy mispronounce his name so badly? Jesus. I said on another place, what was it, Facebook maybe? I was going to ask one of my Greek friends how to pronounce it. And they said, Lawless? I said, fuck no. What, are you kidding me? I'm going to ask Lawless. Lawless won't speak to me. Crazy.
Yeah, he's been in a giving mood recently.
He might be. He might speak to me now.
Yeah.
First time I met him, he was a dick. Anyhow,
so Quinn Sullivan for 2022 not going to happen. 2026, we'll see. That's 4 years from now.
Yeah. The whole 9 position's so up in the air right now. Fuck. Your son could be up for a 2026 spot. Who knows?
I think the announcer could use anybody, Teicher, at this point. Not that he's doing anything inherently wrong. It's just running it solo is gotta be tough.
Yeah, it's a bitch. Now he can't pronounce shit. He not only did he get that kid's name wrong, but he also couldn't say Leicester. He said Leicester.
If it was the same guy from the Canada game,
it's the same guy. Okay.
So
I don't even know who the guy is. They never give him credit for who so-and-so's calling the game and doing it alone.
Could you imagine? It's like, hey, we're here for the U.S. men's national team game against Cuba. It's me, Brett Corbett, coming to you solo.
Here's my
he's going to announce himself in the third person.
I think that what happened was that it's some dude's secretary that works at U.S. Soccer is calling the games because he does it on the cheap in the basement next to the janitor. And they just give him a pair of headphones and they go, talk. And he just starts naming off random countries and shit. And cities. He likes doing that too.
Yeah. Workout regimes and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Ellie. They were great, but I still want Luna in there. What the hell? I missed something now.
No. So the trio against Cuba in the midfield was great. He wants Luna in there, though. Now, the thing is do you want Luna in the midfield, or do you want him as one of the wing options higher up the pitch?
Well, they played him as a false nine in the second half. I'm sure they're just jerking around and trying new people because they have no number 9 on the team. Although Sullivan looks like the closest thing to a 9 so far, but he played right winger last game. If you could call it winger, he was really tucked in. It looked more like he almost looked like a forward, right forward, to be honest with you. And then we had center forward and left forward. But Luna, I want to see more of him too. He's one of the more entertaining guys. He does seem raw. He seems like he could box you too. Like he'd be a good boxer. He could be like a rugby player.
It was funny because somebody tagged us on Twitter saying that U.S. men's national team is listening to us, and it just so happens that U.S. youth national team Twitter handle had posted an interview between Edelman and Luna, and we were sitting here talking like, you guys have these guys for 3 weeks. How do you not sit down and just have a boatload of content? Yeah. Throw out a 7-minute video every day. Throw out 2 7-minute videos every day.
Yep.
Get the interest. Draw people in.
Do something.
We're here to grow. Develop as a nation. Come on, guys.
Quit relying on the janitor to do all your dirty work. Get down and do some of it yourself. It's called Marketing 101, you morons. So what? They put one video up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know if it was on. I haven't even gone to the YouTube channel to find out that's posted there. It was posted on Twitter.
I mean, the clowns that run CONCACAF must be in some way related to the clowns that run U.S. soccer marketing, because it's just they're both so wretched and so horrible and so poor. I mean, my asshole could do a better job marketing. Just my asshole, not me. Just my asshole all by itself could do a better marketing job than that. It'd be gross and smelly, but it would work. I'd be putting effort into it. I'd probably have another hernia, but you know. Is
there a U.S. youth channel? Hold on.
I
know U.S. soccer doesn't have shit up.
No, they don't. Mexico they use their main account, but we don't use our main account for jack shit.
Well, in U.S. youth soccer is a channel for actual youth, like the academy level stuff.
Feel kind of icky joining that though.
So no, it was just it's one of those things like how is this stuff not advertised? How are the highlights of the games not on the U.S. channel? How are you not pushing the potential future players?
Well, let's be honest.
It's beyond me.
There are not many of them are going to be future players.
Regardless, even if they're just middling MLS players, you throw out the interest, people are going to see it like, oh, we just beat Canada, or we beat this team 10-0, we beat this team 3-0, we tied Canada 2-2. We're going on to the knockout stages, and you see all these interviews with players, and you might actually go and actually watch an MLS game just for them, possibly.
Maybe
and that's how you grow and develop.
If they actually played for their MLS team, yes. That's the problem.
Oh,
but still,
there's the answer. Thanks, sir.
You fake it until you make it. That's the whole thing. You got to push these kids. You got to push the program. You got to get people interested in the game. And, you got to say there is a game. Like a game exists and it's going to be played by our U20s and it's Olympic qualifying. They could even just ignore the U20 part and says United States begins Olympic qualifying. Okay. That would get like at least 5,000 people interested above the 5,000 people that are already watching it.
I know the Cuba game had 8,000 people watching.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that was 8,000 people watching for the U.S. or for Cuba.
No, I think at least half of them were in the chat. They'd even watch the game. They're just busy putting stupid remarks in the chat. The turd in the background. Deloitte only allows us to upload one video a week. Deloitte. Oh God, yeah.
Why on earth did you start throwing in a British accent for?
I don't know. I got confused. I'm stoned. Sorry. My accents went. I forgot which one I was. All right. Any more? Okay.
We can cover some.
Okay. That's our. Oh, that's about our show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Serious Chris Gary.
I just shared the link with my grandma. Hell yeah, Chris. I don't think she's ever watched a soccer game before in her life, but I'm sure your show will change that. if it were up to you two in a 4-3-3, what would be your preferred midfield? We're going to get to that later, actually. Right? Can we just do that while we're doing the picks?
Pretty solid lead in. I didn't even realize that too. Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, obvious. It's the obvious, I think. But, I mean, it's becoming less obvious. But right now, of course, it's MMA with Musa, McKennie, and Adams. But, boy, the more I watch De La Torre.
Yeah. But at what position? And who? I mean, I guess assuming until McKinney's fully match fit. But then again, once McKinney's match fit, I mean, at that point, do we talk about a potential Adams replacement?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Because he's decent on defense. He's really good on defense, De La Torre. He doesn't get pushed around. That was our concern, right? He's a small guy. But he doesn't get pushed around. And then, like Musa, man, he can take a ball out of our third and dribble it all the way past that, midfield and just wreck a team on the counter, which, counter is something we should be really good at. Oh, are your brownies done? Your brownies are finished?
Yeah. You're not supposed to tell anybody about those.
Damn. I wish
I'm
was
not
there.
I'm not going to give you any now.
I stopped doing edibles. You want to know why? They sneak up and
they fuck you over?
Oh, yeah. You're like, God, it's been like 45 minutes. When is this shit going to hit?
I'm going to eat another one.
I'm going to eat another one. Yes. And then an hour later, you are fucked out of your mind. So, yeah, last night, Pete learned what thanks is in Polish. He did? I didn't catch it. What is this? Did you watch this already?
No, but here we go. Ready?
All right, yeah.
There you go. Danish is tak. I like that. Tak. Polish, it's suk my balls. Aloha is not. There you go. Danish is tak. I like that.
Oh, God.
Polish, it's suk my balls.
At least he got it.
Aloha is not. There you go.
All right, good.
Danish is tak.
One more time.
I like that. Tak. Polish, it's suk my balls.
And by the way, that is not us doing this. It is a lot of our people, however, are doing this to him. And I hope he appreciates it because he's getting traffic, and he's, he needed that game. That second half of the game was really boring. Really boring. So I guess that's why Pete did all the impressions that I missed. The only one I've seen so far is the Klinsmann one. So
it's in there somewhere. Somebody will get it. 40, 45 minutes, man, every time. we'll get to the point of the show soon, guys.
At least we talked a lot about soccer so far.
All right, we'll cover Sparkle's question, and we'll jump into the. I've got a nice leadway Twitter segment here. So,
Christian girls on Tinder, worth it as an atheist attempt to be truthful, or should I find Christ on occasion? I wouldn't. I'd probably listen. Okay, this is weird, but there is a place and time that you can have a Christian person meet an atheist, and they can have all kinds of things in common, and maybe they're going to just leave each other alone. But, my wife is an atheist. I'm an agnostic. Now, those are very close, same things, right? So there was no tension there. But, yeah, I mean, if she was a devout Catholic and I was agnostic, I don't know how that would have worked out.
My mom is Catholic, and my dad was whatever. He was raised Catholic, but he was never practicing. But if mom's like, we're going to church, he's like, all right, we're going to church.
I never went to church except with other kids' families when I was a kid. But yeah, it's the same thing with my parents. My mom's like, I believe in God. I just don't believe in religions. And my dad's kind of like, whatever, just like yours, like whatever. I don't know if it's there. It's great. It's not. I don't know. I don't know shit. FIFA media. Bureau of FIFA Council approves increase at FIFA World Cup squads to 26 players. Well,
it's officially official, guys.
We've already known it. We've already known it for 2 months, but it's nice for you to finally make it.
Now we can tell everybody when they're like, is it going to be announced? I'm like, it's been announced now, guys. Yeah. However, I said if FIFA World Cup were against the U.S. men's national team from succeeding, they would have increased the roster size to 27 just to make Berhalter's head explode at constructing the training sessions.
Oh, I know, because 26 is his limit. It's his limit. And funny enough,
anymore, it's just impossible to coach them. How are you going to do 27?
What are you going to do with the extra, like 5 players you can't have on the field while they're doing a friendly match against each other? What are they going to do? Just hand out fucking cups of orange juice? All right. Well, here's the other thing. No, go ahead. We'll do this one. Lemon party. Which lemon party? That sounds kind of golden showerish, doesn't it? Does.
You could think that, yeah.
Because who has a lemon party? Apparently, I mean, if you accept it's like a bunch of people who have shitty cars get together.
Like good digestion. What can I say?
If you have a shitty car, come to the party. No, we're going to have a lemon party. Apparently, I've been saying thanks in Polish to Greg this whole time. All righty.
All right. So that leads the roster leads us right into Berhalter's 26.
Yes. Let's do
man roster.
Let's see what we did back in April, folks. This is what we did back in April, and see if we fluffed any trees.
So we're just going to go by position and just say whether or not we made a mistake or who we'd have inclusion.
It's not so much whether or not we made a mistake.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Things change.
Yeah.
Things
if you bring up the goalkeepers, for instance, the mistake is Horvath made his own mistake.
Oof.
And we had him in our 3 going to the World Cup. And I think he may have just lost that spot to Johnson currently.
Yeah. And Matt Turner is going to be successful on FIFA 95.
Man, I wish you had a marker. Yeah.
8-bit Matt Turner.
I wish we could put a red marker through Horvath, because I think he played himself off the.
The fuck's that game show called? We did it. We asked 100 people. Family Feud.
Family Feud. I used to love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show. In fact, we have that game at my house. We haven't at my parents' house. We haven't played it forever, but you have to put in all the little slide shit things. It's kind of a pain in the ass. They should make a new one that's digital. I'm sure they do have one that's digital at this point. But yeah, Horvath out, Johnson in. That's the only change here so far.
Can't believe we made that mistake.
Well, we didn't know he was gonna, take a shit
royally
out there.
Yeah, drop a deuce
right in front of the goal and not even flinch for the ball. Didn't even flinch. At least pretend you tried.
Outside of that, Stephen Turner guaranteed at this point.
For now,
he's not going to make that. Well, we're running what, like 4 months into it right now.
Yeah, but
not that much is going to change. Who's going to take their place unless somebody gets injured?
But how often? And I was just going to say that. How often has Stefan either had a testicular problem or a family problem? How many call-ups has he missed? A lot.
So, yeah, it's true. That's a good point.
For a guy that barely plays, he misses a lot of call-ups.
My back hurts from sitting on this bench for so long, guys.
Shit.
So, I mean, injuries, outliers, is obviously just us predicting if everybody's healthy type of thing. But Stefan we had predicted, or you had predicted primarily that he's going to get loaned. Yep. But now it looks like Man City purchased out Stefan from what's a German club? I sent it to you. Team that Bielefeld? Armenian Bielefeld?
Armenia Bielefeld.
Sorry, it's pretty close. Thinking off the top of my head.
Not bad for you.
Yeah. I'm growing and developing, guys. Wow.
So it was close enough. I knew what you were trying to say.
not gonna remember that. Yeah. So, but I mean, if they're bringing that goalkeeper in, and Twitter was all about saying like, oh, he was the best goalkeeper in the Bundesliga. I
don't know why they just don't go after Leno and have him as the backup.
Jared? No, it's Leno. Sorry.
Yeah, Leno from Arsenal, who definitely wants to leave. But I guess he wants to leave because he's not a starter. So he wants to go somewhere he starts. So that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it's a sign that they're going to allow the loan to go out.
He's going to have to go on loan at this point.
Yeah, and he could go back to Freiburg. He might go to Arminia Bielefeld. No, don't do that.
Somebody was saying that Burnley's losing their goalkeeper too, and maybe Stefan to Burnley.
Not bad. Although, if I were Burnley and I watched some of those last games and Stefan played for Man City, I'd be worried. I'd be a little concerned. But
Stefan's agent's going, nah, man, that's just the rust he's working out from sitting that bench. You play him all the time, he's going to be a star.
And I think Turner should get a loan too, because I don't think outside of cup games he's going to get much time. So Horvath has worse reaction time than Gregg's dog. Actually, Gregg's dog's pretty quick compared to Horvath.
Well, then props to Miazga then.
It's just that the dog didn't see it coming. All right. That's the problem there.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that's the goalkeepers. Let's move to the...
Matt Turner looks like a video game character. He does. That's why I said he'd be great in FIFA 95.
Isn't that a bitch in paint, Chris? Isn't that a bitch? So, I mean, the photo of Matt Turner was so high quality, I had to shrink it to 5%. And this is what happened to him.
Look, it's like FIFA 95, then you got FIFA 2000, and then here's FIFA 2010.
Yeah.
The quality is just growing at this point.
But you know what I said? There was like 2 hours before the show. I had a lot more slides to make, and I said, fuck it. That's what I said, Chris. Because sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. Sometimes. Bagel J looks more like Duck Hunt.
Oh, man.
All right.
This is great. I love this conversation, guys.
Left back, right back. Who we got? We got...
So left back.
This is in April. This is what we said. We said Jedi and Bello. I think Bello has fucked himself. I think he's out. I don't think he's going.
Well, so this is an interesting conversation because Scally did not have a great only match under Berhalter.
Yeah, but at least his not good match was against Uruguay and not
exactly.
St. Kitts, or whatever. Not St. Kitts.
But do you think Berhalter's going to take that? St. Kitts. Yeah.
I got St. Kitts.
It might as well have been. It was Grenada. You know.
Yeah, it was Grenada. Sorry.
But I mean, do you think Berhalter will take that into consideration, or do you think I'm just going to go with the guy that's been part of the system, or do you think Des is going to be in Bello's spot, and we're going to see more included on the right back side?
You could always tell when Gregg sort of soured on a player and that player's not coming back. I think we just saw it, actually, with Haji Wright. Yeah. And we saw it with Brooks. We saw it with Leggett. I think he's kind of sour on Bello. And why shouldn't Sam Vines at least get another look in those last 2 friendlies? You know?
And that was the thing, too. I said, this is what we said after the last window, is bring in Vines, bring in Scally, give them both a shot at that point. And let's see what happens.
Scally got the shot. Vines got fucking fucked. And now he's got to be praying that he has whatever good season at Antwerp to start it off the season, and that somehow Berhalter gets VHS tapes of it, because that's really hard finding those games.
Here we go.
Cannon also fucked himself, but most likely GGG might take him. Yeah, I think, but the reason I think he's going to take Cannon is he can work as an alternative right center back in a back 3. So that's why I think Cannon goes. But I think the real starting right backs in a 4-3-3 are going to be Dest for sure. And then if Dest, takes one to the face and is knocked out, then Yedlin. But otherwise, it's Jedi Dest. So we're just looking for some competent backups in case injuries happen.
Let's just say you had Berhalter picks the roster today for the World Cup, ignoring the next 2 games. Who do you think he brings in as that second left back?
I think right now, and I might be dreaming or pissing up the fucking real long pole, but it's Bello. I mean, excuse me, it is Scally. You
might be pissing up a.
I might be.
I think Dest becomes the backup to Jedi, and I think Berhalter's going to bring more in. This is me pulling out my inner Derek, pulling out his inner Greg.
If he does that, he'll be a moron, because you can't have Dest as your fucking backup left back.
We've talked about this ad nauseum, but still,
I know you can't do it.
I mean, that's what he was doing all qualifying, though.
Yeah, but he's dumb. When he was saying,
I know, but he's not going to change in 4 months.
He said Yedlin and Cannon can play left back. No, they can't, motherfucker. Show me any evidence that that's true. Now, if he would have said Acosta can play left back, I would have said,
there you go.
Okay.
Maybe that's where Acosta works himself into the roster.
So maybe
as the 5th back.
So maybe he just crosses Bello off the list altogether, and Acosta's the backup left back. There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah.
But if not, Scally. I mean, I'm hoping. I'm wishing. But I'm just going to cross Bello off the list and put a question mark next to Vines. I'd add Vines' names to this question mark, because it ain't going to be Bello, and it should be Bello. He's played horrible. Well, he was off and on for.
Has he performed well for the United States at this point?
No, he hasn't.
Not
And
really.
he's not played that great for Arminia Bielefeld, who got relegated. So there you go.
We got a lot
JJ,
of gyms here. Yeah, go ahead.
damn, we don't have much depth here. Yeah, no, we don't. It's Jedi and Dest, and after that shit falls off a cliff. Nick Lima.
Pass.
Lima?
Our pass.
I really can't go back to that again.
No, well, Nick Lima will be included, just like Lewis will be included. So.
DeJuan Jones, I could swallow a DeJuan Jones test in the last 2 games.
I'd be inclined to give him a shot. Why not?
I think so. But other than that, Casanova. I used to have a girlfriend in middle school named Carol Casanova. Woo! She was smoking hot, dude. For middle school? Man, oh my God. All right, anyhow. Yedlin and Cannon can barely play right back. I know they can't. They can't play right back that well. Yedlin isn't as quick as before. You could swallow DeJuan Jones.
More props to you, Derek. I could swallow that. Wow.
All right. I have to say, it's not a specialty of mine.
Man.
I mean, I have no practice at it, so we'll see. If we beat England, I might do that. Might try to deep throat a blow up doll. All right, center backs: Zimmerman, Long, Miles Robinson, Chris Richards.
I guess here's the question: Are we still, because he's had a habit of bringing 5 center backs? Are we set that he's only going to bring 4?
I think he's only going to bring 4, or maybe we can have this discussion now because Cannon can play right center back if we.
There you go. That's a great point.
Yep. So, but we got to mark Miles Robinson off of this because we know he ain't going to be back in time for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid. You're not going to be there. And then Chris Richards should be fine. The question is, here's my pick. My pick is CCV. I know it's not going to be popular, but if we got Chris Richards, he's fast. So we can still have 2 slow guys, CCV and Zimmerman. CCV can be Zimmerman's
and even Long.
backup.
Even Long is fast.
Yeah. So we got Long and Richard as the cover guys, right? Because we always need one cover guy with Zimmerman because he is not incredibly quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the 2 cover guys, and then that means we can bring 2 slow guys. We already know Brooks ain't coming. So
yeah, he's out for a good 8 to 9 more months.
Mm-hmm. That was a serious injury. So even if he does no EPB, no, because just look at what happened to EPB in the last line. He got injured, but he barely got any playing time compared to everybody else. And he gave CCV a lot more chances.
So yeah, it's not necessarily that EPB played bad or anything like that.
He did not
you
play
have to
bad.
take into consideration what Berhalter did over the course of the entire window. And yes, CCV had more opportunities as a whole.
So did Aaron Long.
Well, definitely Long and Zimmerman, and if Richards is healthy, are guarantees in my book right now.
Oh, he loves him some Aaron Long. I mean, he loves that.
Does he love himself some Long and Richards?
Yes, he likes both of those things. But Miles, I wish Miles would be there. But I mean, if I had to pick, it could be EPB or CCV, just depending on how their seasons
Well, it's going to be one of those 2. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be one of those 2.
Right now, it's in favor of CCV.
Of course it is. First off, if you're looking at just their seasons, CCV is going to be playing for Celtic. Of course, his season's going to be littered with good game this, good game that.
Yeah, but EPB gets a lot of games for his team too.
But he plays for a middling team in Ligue 1 against harder competition. Yeah, so I'm just saying. I guess you have to take into consideration the bad with the good. I mean, CCV is pretty much guaranteed to have all quote unquote good games, unless some blunder occurs, of course.
Well, it's just too bad that in the middle of the last window, for whatever reason, EPB had to take a shit and he got an anal strain. And so he had to sit out a game. But that heals pretty quick. I don't know if you ever taken a big one and it just, oh my God, that hurt. That's all that happened.
I guess it's better than accepting a big one, I guess.
All right. So probably
potato?
CCV. We what? Potato. Would you eat the potato without chewing? All right, CCV.
Reference was you said take one. I joked and said accepted. I said, well, you say potato, I say potato.
Okay.
That type of thing.
I thought you were sticking potatoes somewhere.
No, it's not going to happen.
All right, so yeah, CCV, advantage CCV right now with EPB right up his butt and waiting for him to have a bad season, which he won't. And but I do think Gregg will bring both of them again for that last 2 games and try them out.
Assuming, yeah, I agree with you on that, 100%. And assuming that he doesn't bring 5 actual center backs, because again, throughout qualifiers he included Cannon, but still brought in 5 center backs. If he brings in 5 center backs, of course CPP will probably be the 5th. Who's going to take his spot, quite frankly?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree. If he brings 5, it's both of them are going.
Yeah,
just a matter of.
But I mean, to your point though, and he loves his players that are versatile. You know, being able to use Cannon as either right back or center back. That means you can take that 5th center back and utilize him somewhere else on the pitch.
Right. So
we have a plethora of attackers that are probably going to get left. Somebody's going to get left behind, of course.
Yeah.
Because Berhalter has his favorites. He may bring one.
Yep.
But
might add Morris. Who knows?
He might add Morris.
Midfielders, so far
the 6s I'm fine with still.
Yeah, although you could shift Luca in the middle here because he can do 6 or 8.
Yep.
But Busio's got to go.
Yeah, Musa McKinney obviously guarantees. De La Torre worked himself in, but Busio he is out. Now, do you think that with Berhalter having 26 players now, that he brings Roldan?
Well,
vibes, guys.
People were talking about earlier today that Busio should get a loan from Venezia. He's not getting a fucking loan. He's going to stay at Venezia, and they're going to expect all the people they have to work their fucking balls off and get that Venice team back to Serie A.
Yep.
They're not going to do loans. Venezia's not doing loans. They got an owner with plenty of money. They don't need the money. They're going to pay the players.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to get back up into Serie A because that's their dream, right? That's their dream. That's where they want to be as the next glamour club, because that's what the vision is, to be the next sort of fashion glamour club.
Oh, then they're going to get Sawi, huh? Is that the idea? Glamour vision.
Yeah, that might be a good move for them.
He
can model on the sideline, on the bench.
He just struts down the sidelines.
But I don't think Busio's going, frankly. I don't think he's going to go. So the question is, who fills in for him? It could be Roldan.
It could be, but it could be Aronson at this point. It could be Gio.
You might have to shift Aronson into this midfield. And I think that makes the most sense. That means you're going to have one less winger, but that's okay.
It just means that he's going to bring Morris and or Areola at that point. So it's no different than what we've expected over the course of time.
And if Aronson's included to this list, I don't care which one of these motherfuckers starts in the front in our 3. As long as it's not Acosta, I'm fine with that. I mean, if we're up 6-0 against whomever, Wales, which ain't going to happen either.
England.
Or even England.
3-0. Where they don't call it soccer.
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 By Jove, mate. You can't call it soccer. Well, you made it up, dickhead. All right. Yeah, as long as you don't take Acosta or start Acosta and just have them hanging around in case somebody breaks a leg, or you're up 2 or 3-0 and there's 10 minutes left and you want to run the game out, with some defense, then you bring Acosta in. Or you're down 1-0 and you got a bunch of set pieces because you're on the press to get the tie, and you bring in Acosta to take set pieces, corners, set pieces, because he's good at that.
I would say I'd be contemplating possibly looking at the U20 squad and seeing who I can bring in for set pieces, because they're significantly better than what we've experienced.
Well, that's because they have one guy who's good at it, Craig. So I'm not bringing Craig.
If we have a 5th center back, would you bring Craig?
No. Besides, Reyna's taking all the corner kicks and free kicks anyhow.
100% hopefully.
Yeah. All right. That's the midfield.
Like, nah, bro, I got this one.
Yeah. So the only one we strike off.
Or throw-in. Son of a bitch.
The only one we're striking off of this list is Busio. Busio ain't making it. Sorry, guys. Yep. So Wingers and strikers. Oh, almost choked. Almost choked on my drink. That's not good. Damn. I don't want to die on live television. Well, television.
It wouldn't make for a good view. So think about it, Derek.
YouTuber dies while making cock jokes. All right.
What a Monty Python scene right there.
It probably is. Yeah. Somewhere in there. All right. Wingers. Pulisic, yes. Weah, yes. Aronson. We just moved him to midfield. I think that makes sense.
So let's assume he moves to the midfield. So scratch him off the winger spot.
Yep. Reina, yes. And then Areola. We had Areola because we knew that Gregg loved him some Areolas. But
we have to remember we moved Aronson off, so we have one extra spot here.
Well, then you know who's going to make it. Morris. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
No, I know. We got the game time goal against El Salvador, but man, that's gonna be rough relying on that.
I mean, okay, they're not going to play. I mean, if Morris and Ariel will make this, Pulisic and Way are starting every game, and if they can't, Aronson or Raynham is going to start every game. So Will Tillman, he might make it, but I don't think Gregg has a deal that guaranteed him to make it. So we'll see what Tillman does between now and then, because he still gets very rare minutes at Bayern Munich and mostly plays for Bayern too.
I'm sorry.
I like him,
just
but
from their performances that I've experienced from them beforehand, Gioacchini would be a fun inclusion over a Morris at this point.
Who the fuck's he? he just like disappeared off the fucking face of the planet.
He was getting bit minutes for what is it, Montpellier?
Montpellier. Yeah.
And I think he is getting released from them too, or dropped. So he's gonna be a free agent, I'm sure.
Really?
I thought I read that somewhere. I don't know.
That seems harsh.
But I mean, even then, as long as he's in shape, I would take Hoppy at this point.
Yeah,
I feel like Hoppy brings more, despite the fact that he's not playing.
I agree.
I still think he brings more to the pitch than either Morris or Ariel at this point.
I do too. And you know what? If he can escape Mallorca somehow and get a good loan and get like wrecking time, playing time, and scoring goals and taking names, maybe Hoppy's got a chance. I mean, he did his best by making that T-shirt of Gregg wearing the sunglasses to make up for his "I'm the motherfucking best player out here." And Gregg, I've never seen him look like that. He was just like, fucking a bitch right now. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I love me Hoppy. You know we are Hoppy fans. Yeah, we'll see. Again, De La Fuente has been injured, so we're going to have to see what his comeback looks like. That's his challenge. Is he going to be a starter or at least a guy who gets regular playing time? And we don't know that yet.
Is he still going to be on Marseille? Is he on his way out?
No, I think
he's back.
He's staying, and the manager recently, the club said nice things about him. Like they said they expect him to, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we expect him to be a real contributor next season. Okay, well, didn't seem like it last season, but okay. You gave him a few games at the beginning of the season, then you let him ride pine until he, pulled a muscle on his ass. So, not good. So I don't think, I think right now, the way it stands, realistically, thinking of Gregg, it's Pulisic, Weah, Reyna, Ariel, Morris. Aronson slides back to the midfield, but he can use them either way if he wants to.
So, yeah, that fourth and fifth spot are up in the air at this point, and it really depends on who's performing. But I still think, regardless of if, let's say Hoppy either continues at Mallorca or if he gets a new club and he starts killing it, I still think Berhalter is going to bring in Areola or Morris or both over him.
Yeah, I do too.
So I think what we're looking at here is scratch Aronson off because he's been moved on to the midfield, and you're throwing in possibly either a Tillman or a Morris at that point. I guess it just depends on who he rates higher. Moving on that.
Right, and we'll see. I mean, Gregg might want to be proud of himself and say, "Listen, I'm the one who recruited Tillman, and I'm proud of that. So I'm bringing him.
Yeah.
And, Areola, sorry, buddy, go home. Although he loves himself some Areolas.
I think it'd be more Morris at this point go home because at least Ariel got brought in, despite the fact that he got the red card immediately.
Yeah. And got the lowest grade we've ever given for a kid. JJ, $2. Thank you, man. I mean, look, guys, we read almost every relevant question, whether you pay or not. So we appreciate when you do pay because that lets us know you still give a shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. JJ, BA, Bruce Arena?
Brendan Aronson.
Okay. So you got to know, JJ, I grew up with Bruce Arena being my manager of the national team for a long time. So BA is what we call
the problem is I'm sure he came across this as an issue. He's fitting in a bunch of names on a $2 super chat, and you've only got so many characters. I think it's like 50 characters.
Yeah, it's not
so
much.
He's got to start abbreviating where he can.
Well, the other thing in the military, it's also known as BA is known as body armor.
Badass.
Body armor, yeah.
Badass.
So BA, Geo, West, tits and ass in the midfield. What?
We'd all like to see that.
Who's TA?
Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams. God damn it. What's wrong with my brain?
I have no idea what's wrong with your brain.
I know what's wrong with my brain, and it's in this box.
Quick, take another one. Yeah.
All right. BAGO, West, Tyler Adams in midfield, CP, and Weah at striker.
4-4-2. He's calling for 4-4-2.
Brett would fucking hit jizz in his pants if this happened, but I don't see it happening. Jizz in my pants. I just don't see this happening. I don't. I wish it would, JJ. Yeah, but a 4-4-2 does not seem to be in Gregg's wheelhouse.
And I would even go so far to say throw BA and Gio in the Pulisic Dempsey role, and you got yourself an empty bucket.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know you love your empty bucket.
I'm just saying, because you're saying, because I'm just saying.
I know you love your empty bucket. By the way, did you see Heath Pierce and
I have seen them. Conrad?
The other guy, Davies. Just go at it. It was so hilarious because they were putting their top 10 power rankings of the top 10 best American players right now. And guess who Heath Pierce did not have on his top 10?
Who?
Weston McKennie.
No.
I shit you not. And you know what? Davies piled on him. And then Conrad should have piled on him too, but he didn't. But it was funny. Seeing him. I mean, it was like Davies was fucking serious, dude. He's kind of sick of some of their clownery at this point, I think. He's like, quit fucking around. He
love our show then.
He would hate our show. I don't think Davies. We better stick to Jimmy Conrad.
I would have to say if Davies came in, he would probably feel so awkward.
Yeah.
Dealing with us.
He's a quiet talker, too. Like, I mean, Jimmy's so loud, and then Heath has a good mic, but Davies' mic is like on the lower setting, even though it's jammed against his face, and he's like, I really do think that you've made a mistake about McKennie. McKennie's one of the best players we have. I have him in my top 5. What's wrong with you, Heath? And then he got pissed at Heath, which was fucking hilarious. All right.
Hopefully good. Hopefully the personality comes out, because that's been my one gripe with Davies as a commentator and a YouTube content creator, is that he's so quiet. He's making his point. He's moving on to the next thing.
Maybe he's done with that shit.
Like when Dempsey came on as commentating with Paramount. I mean, he wasn't the most professional, actual commentator, if you will. No, but his personality shone, and that's what made it out so much better.
Yeah, no, Davies. If you go back and watch that last show, which was the show? It's their top 10 power rankings show, and I keep missing the live ones. I don't know why. I don't know. She's swallowed the fluff.
Do you mean Star Wars? Do you mean Heath Pierce?
Evans had Areola at number 10. Evans did? You mean Heath
Pierce?
Yeah, he did have him at number 10, and no Weston. Heath Pierce did way too much crack before that fucking show.
McKinney's still recovering from his injury, so I can't put him in the top 10. It's my guess. This is his rationale.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but he did have other players who have injuries in his top 10 too, or have had them recently. So I don't understand that top 10. But then again, I don't understand a lot. Heath continuously lined us up in a 4-2-3-1, and I'm like, we don't play a fucking 4-2-3-1, and we never have. Well, now we have played something close to it, a 3-2-2-3, but I mean, it's not really a 4-2-3-1, and we fucked around with it in one of the games, but we don't play that. But he kept putting out his starting 11, and it was always fucking wrong. And you're like, when are you going to get realistic and actually put out a real team that is actually, and that goes back to that guy who criticized us for that on Twitter, right? Well, let's finish this up and then take on that, because we got criticized for being realistic, which I think is absurd. What, should I come out here and give you a fairy tale team, have fairies shoot out my ass and go on the screen? I just get to pick. I don't get to pick it.
Derek, think of the content. Think of the content. That would be amazing if you could.
I can do amazing
Shit
things.
those fairies out.
I just need a
so we do have the other slides. We have the Japan and Saudi Arabia slides. So let's talk about those.
Well, we're not done with the strikers, for Christ's sake.
Oh, that's right. We aren't. How did we skip that?
Way to move on.
Whatever. This is what we were expecting.
Yeah, I think this is still the top three.
Yep,
honestly.
Yep. And
insert
rando here. At this point.
This is a mud bath battle here. This is scrum. And
I mean, who does Berhalter consider his third at this point? Or will he utilize that third to bring in somebody else? Because, I mean, ultimately, Berhalter could always fall back on Weah or Pulisic to play that, or just rely on another false nine like Reyna.
Or Morris. Or
Morris could play the nine. Yeah, you're right.
I would love to see Reyna play a false nine. Fucking love it. I would jizz in my pants. I would. If that happened, if that came up, I would fucking freak out. I'd be like, yes, Berhalter's seen the light. He's going to move Pulisic up, play more of a forward position with Weah. Weah can still hang out wide, but then he can cut in. And, guess who's going to be delivering all the cool ass balls? Maybe that's what they're trying out with the U20s right now, playing all the false nines. Who knows? All right. So, yeah, we're done there. Okay.
Clint Torres says Heath didn't even have De La Torre as his top 10.
I think you meant clitoris. Clint Torres?
Clint Torres. Yeah.
Clint Torres?
Clint Torres.
I think you just got. All right. What did he say?
He said that Heath didn't even have De La Torre in his top 10. I mean, I even read it out loud, but you're just up on the clitoris.
But then Davey said, you totally forgot about Luca De La Torre. And then he said, yeah, good point. I did forget all about him. It's like, come on, dude. You got one job. You got two shows on Monday and Thursday. Do some basic fucking research and quit hitting the pipe so hard if it's, obscuring your mind. Not that he...
Get better at that.
Stop shaving so much, too. I'm not used to you having a clean face, Heath Pierce. Always used to, like a big scruff there.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can, because at one point I used to hang around you when you did not have a beard. So yes, I can imagine.
You may have caught me at like a time where I was doing an interview. I've had a beard since...
I have photos.
07 or 08.
I have photos for proof. Anyhow, not many, just like one, I think.
You may have been referring to maybe a smaller facial hair aspect. I used to do like the line with the goatee as well, not the full fledged.
Yeah, that's.
I'd like to see these questionable photos you're referring to.
Yeah,
and
when you just have the goatee,
that's not me with the goat.
When you have just the goatee, you do look a little like Louis C.K.
I think if you have me a picture with just a goatee, then you probably saw me with a little more hair. So
that's true too. All right, well, you didn't
all white people look alike, Derek. I'm just saying that right now.
You didn't want to take on the cocksucker who said that doing these predictions.
Well, okay. First off.
I think we got to take that on.
I'm not calling him that at all.
No, of course you're not. I am. You don't call people's names. I do.
I call people names, just usually behind closed doors.
Yes, exactly.
No. So we'll pull it up here in a second. But
I know he's not.
We literally just finished talking about the strikers.
I'm just kidding. He's not a cocksucker. But I don't understand the rationale. You had to explain this tweet to me.
I I guess before we even get to that, did you want to cover the Japan and Saudi Arabia stuff?
No, I want to jump to what's relevant based on what we just did.
Fair play,
And this guy basically said, why are you guys doing this, you stupid shits? You're just justifying what Gregg wants to do. We're not justifying. We disagree. When we disagree with Gregg, we say we disagree. When Roldan's on the lineup.
Let's not get too far into this because,
I know, but when Roldan was on the lineup, we bitch and moan about it. When he starts, we bitch and moan about it. So, no, we're not justifying shit. But you can read it, and I just thought, I'm glad I'm not on Twitter. That's
the Disgusting Act, at Disgusting Act 84, if you guys don't follow him. He's actually, despite the names that Derek's been throwing around here.
I'm just kidding.
He provides some good content.
Yeah, I was just joking. He's not a cocksucker. I'm a cocksucker. He is not. All right, there we go.
He goes, I can think of nothing. This is in reference to our hey, we're talking about the Berhalter's updated 24 or 26.
Yeah.
He says, I can think of nothing more depressing nor more helpful for those in power than assuming the preferences of the head coach to manufacture consent for dog shit MLS lifers. Really don't understand this type of content. It has a chilling effect on discourse.
God, we didn't even have that many MLSers on our team.
Of course, my response was nothing more depressing. I'm sure you could try, though I don't recommend it.
Bring
it in.
If you're really stoned, comprehending what he just said, now let's go through it sentence by sentence, because he can't think of anything more depressing nor more helpful for those in power. So U.S. soccer, then assuming
it's depressing to talk about this, and it's helpful for Berhalter making the decisions to bring in dog shit MLS lifers, is what he's saying.
No, we're not consenting to anything. When we disagree with this guy, we say so. But at some point, I can't if I'm going to tell people out there who are coming to this show, maybe even new U.S. men's national team fans, what they can likely expect to be the team, I have to not lie to them. I'm not going to lie. Why would I lie? Well, I'm not going to pull a fairy out of my ass and say this guy's going to be on the team when he's no way in hell he's going to make the team. Would I like Brooks to be on this team when it goes to the World Cup? Yes, but I'm not going to lie to you and tell you he's going to be there. Why the fuck would I do that? And that doesn't mean I'm manufacturing shit. I'm not just telling the truth, dude. All right, that's all I have to say. And no, you're not a cocksucker. I'm sorry I said that. I'm the cocksucker. I'm the mad. I'm the mean dude. You, however, have your opinion, and you're welcome to it. I just totally disagree with you. Totally.
He definitely agrees with us as far as freeing Brooks, though. Free Brooks.
Free Brooks. Yeah, I mean, I like his name too. But thank you for the comment. It was thoughtful. I'll say that. It was a very thoughtful comment.
It wasn't. I mean, the way that he just doesn't like. He doesn't like taking the consideration of anything pro Berhalter. No, that's the thing is we're by us saying here's what Berhalter is going to bring in for the World Cup. Isn't us being pro Berhalter? It's saying here's what you can expect.
Yes.
Let's bitch about what we want to bitch about, but go into it expecting this. Otherwise, if I kept saying, "Hey guys, with this game against Japan and Saudi Arabia, we're going to play a 4-2-2-2. Here's who he's going to play," and then we don't play it after the third or fourth time, they're going to be like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Sargent's going to start up top, alongside Pulisic in a 4-2-2-2.
I mean, we have plenty of content talking about why that Berhalter should be bringing him in. We talked about Roldan possibly being included in this 26. We talked about Ariel. We talked about Morris. And it's not like we're saying these players need to go to Qatar. We're saying, these players are going to be included because that's what Berhalter does.
Yeah, I mean,
he has his reasons. We may disagree with him.
I'd rather see Tillman 10 days a week than fucking Roldan on this fucking roster. That's for sure. Give the young kid the experience. If you really believe he's going to be part of the future of U.S. soccer or this team, then just bring him and let him ride pine, but let him have the experience. And maybe throw him in a game for 10 minutes when we're up to nothing or whatever, Yeah. So, we got more questions, huh?
We got a few more questions, yeah. And then we have the upcoming window too.
Oh shit, we do. Oh yeah, we do.
Pulled up, so
yeah. Thought you had 0% female viewership. No, we're up to like 0.00006.
This is in reference to me going boys and girl. Yes, singular. Let's double that, people.
girls don't like us. But
Well,
that's
they
we're
like
old.
They like us. It's
Well, yeah, I
they
mean,
like our content.
we have kids. What about their content?
No, we like their content.
Their content, yes. All right. All right. No, we're gonna get more girls at some point. But probably not in a rapid way. Meg doesn't even watch us, but she comes on our show.
Consistently.
Yeah,
Maybe she binges it all one day a month. I don't know.
maybe that's where we get that 1% from.
Yeah.
Ariola comes on for Pulisic in the World Cup, probably. And Ferrer starts at striker, probably.
Well, odds that Gio benches Weah is probably the biggest one. And Ariel won't come in for Pulisic. Ariel will come in for Weah on the right.
I don't think that Reyna has really worked out where he's going to be in Gregg's system yet. I think Gregg needs to feel comfortable with that before he does it. Because Reyna's been gone for so long and out with injury for so long, and we don't really play a CAM unless we play 3 in the back. Then we kind of play that. So maybe that's when he starts. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it works itself out. You probably saw the report, but Jonathan Sinclair, Sky Sports, broke that Man City signed the Bielefeld keeper, not Beanfield. Bielefeld keeper, Stefan probably out, which is great. Where's the most likely destination for him? Back to Germany, championship? Might be Bielefeld. I wouldn't want to go there, but it could be a goalkeeper swap there because Bielefeld.
You take mine, we'll take yours.
Yeah, Bielefeld, they need to work their way back into Bundesliga, but there are a couple Bundesliga teams that could use a goalkeeper. So we'll see what happens. Or he might end up in the championship. I don't know. Maybe a lower level, EPL team. Who knows?
Sparkle that goes, he goes, got it, Brett Grimace. So, sorry, Sparkle. I'm gonna hold off on sharing some of that chat with Derek until after the show.
Okay, I'm not going to see it until tomorrow because the pricks at YouTube won't put the chat up on our
assuming
videos.
They process our fucking videos. Good Lord,
it takes them 12 hours.
I was up till 1:30 last night. When did we finish the show? When was that? Like 11:30. 11:30. So yeah, I was up for 2 hours. 2 hours
processing. Yeah, and then I woke up at 3 or 2. And I'm like, where's our show? It still wasn't up. And so then I woke up at 7 something and I texted you again. I'm like, that fucking show's still not up. And then, I had to go in, make it. I don't know. There was some sort of weird technical.
Well, I put it on private because I could have went ahead and posted it.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, while it's processing, if anybody views it, that means no money.
No dinero.
So I put it on private, and I said, "Hey, let me know when this is finished processing." Never got a notification for it.
Yeah, we want our rubles.
Yeah, you brought the point of as far as just publishing like 2 hours in advance at that point. That would have made sense. That probably would have been a better option.
That's what I usually did, and then I go to bed. I'd say, "All right, this is going to take a long time, so go up at 2 a.m." And I don't know what time it actually got done processing. All right, what is more cringe, the music during the U20 halftime or Berhalter singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"? I missed him singing. Was it bad?
It's not good. It's slow, getting everybody included, and he sings like an amputee.
Take me
can't carry a tune, can't hold a note.
Game. All right, I don't know.
That's a Bloodhound Gang reference right there.
Oh, I missed it.
Sorry,
and I don't know that band.
The Bloodhound Gang? No.
It's a hip hop.
The roof is on fire.
I know that song.
There you go. That's a band. But one of the songs starts off going, "Yeah, I sing like an amputee, though." He goes, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, can't carry a tune, can't hold a note, can't carry a tune."
That's very distasteful. Okay.
Most of what Bloodhound Gang's saying about was pretty distasteful.
They weren't the only ones that during that time doing some pretty wicked shit.
It's okay to make a joke.
Yeah, no, it is. I make them all the time in private, but no, in public too, I guess now. All right, here we go. Is that it? Nope, we got more.
Yep.
A week, no live shows and transfer rumors for Musa, Weah, Haji, and Richard Semi pickup. I didn't know Richards owned a semi, but okay. Also, a random Pulisic to Everton for Richarlison. God damn it, fuck it. Rumor. I don't think any of those make much sense.
know Richards owned a semi.
I don't think any of these make much sense. Haji maybe, but we've had a couple rumors for him for two different clubs.
A couple clubs, yeah.
Hull City and Trabzonspor. And then Wea, I don't know why, unless they just are desperate to sell, they get rid of Wea because they're already going to lose two other players that I know are attacking players because they're just selling people left and right, Lil. I don't know how they got themselves in such a shitty situation. I mean, they just played Champions League. But, yeah, I don't know. And then Musa, I don't know. I think he's doing all right at Valencia. I think they play him out of position, but at least you know what you're getting.
Play him all over the field.
Yeah, you know what you're getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to a brand new club and the World Cup's coming up, and the brand new club's like, you're a fucking 19-year-old kid, fuck off. Sit the pine. I don't know how many of these. I don't think Richards is staying at Bayern, though. I don't think that's happening. I think they're going to have him play a few of the warm-up games.
Well, Hoffenheim's already reaching out for his services, and there was interest in EPL, if I recall correctly. Was it EPL?
I thought it was Championship, but I could be wrong.
I don't know if it's Championship. I don't know.
Transfer market has been kind of sparse so far this season. I don't know what's going on there. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, let's hammer these out, and then we'll cover our last window before we head out.
Derek, I disagree with your take on Caden Clark. IMO, his ceiling is higher than any of his teammates in the U20 roster. Well, I don't know how you disagree with me. I don't disagree with that statement. He'll break out in Germany, then on the national team. Mark my words, bro. I hope you're right, man. But, I mean, he can't play for New York fucking Red Bull. All right? Or Red Bull New York right now. I mean, it's pitiful. So, I mean, you can't play for your own club team. You're expecting him to go to Leipzig and kick some ass? Maybe Salzburg, but not Leipzig. He ain't playing.
I stand for the better option for Clark.
You're standing firm again. How much fucking of the pill are you going to take before every show? You're always standing firm.
I put on my boots earlier.
You need to save those pills for your wife, not this show. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm standing firm.
You are. And you're not.
That what we said. We said months ago.
You're sitting firm.
I'm standing firm on the aspect that what we said months ago.
Okay.
As far as the best option for Clark would have been to get brought into Germany for the maybe even for like the winter, the second half of the season.
Yes.
And then shipped off to Salzburg here in the summer.
Yep.
That would have been the better option.
Sure would have been.
But yeah, maybe
here's
Leipzig
the thing.
at this point just doesn't rate Clark at this point, and that's why he's back at Red Bulls. I don't know.
Leipzig's rating of Clark has gone down and not up, and that's the issue. And they just don't think he's a future Leipzig player at this point. And I hope I'm wrong, but from what I've been watching from him lately, I'd have to agree. I mean, he's not even bossing this U220 tournament. He's not bossing this tournament. He's not scoring like loads of goals and embarrassing teams. I mean,
he's had a couple really good chances that got stopped by the goalkeepers. He's assisted and he's even scored, but he scored PK, I guess. He
played fairly well. Don't get me wrong, but I have such high expectations for him that's what I expect in a U20 tournament from a guy who was supposed to be going to Leipzig not long ago. And now he's not. And he's also wiped out all his New York Red Bull shit from his social media. I don't know what's going on.
We talked about that. The fact that happened, I would wager that probably means that he's on the move.
To where is the real question. Wow. But yeah, can't play.
I mean, any place has got to be better than his current situation right now, not really playing at Red Bull. So
yeah,
if somebody's showing interest, then I guess, take it while you can.
So right now he has hit a ceiling. And I guess the question is whether or not there's another ceiling being built and he's going to move it up, raise the roof, if you will.
I think
how's that for a hip hop reference?
I think his stock prior to the U20s was lower than where it's currently at during the U20s.
I
think
two years ago his stock was through the roof.
Sure. So I think his performance so far in the U20s has improved his stock. We'll see what happens. And I'm not saying that he'll come back to Red Bulls and play, or maybe he will just get shipped off somewhere else. I don't know.
I don't think his play in this U20 has improved his stock at all. I think he's been effective, but not mind blowing. And he's playing against some super shitty fucking teams.
Fair play.
And I'm sorry, you got to blow my dick off a little harder than that if you really want to impress me.
Again, the only challenging team that we play again has been Canada. We talked about this a number of times already.
Challenging. They're challenged.
Challenging.
Mentally.
Nope. But yeah, so but he came in the second half against Canada and did well immediately. I remember texting you saying that Clark has done more in 2 minutes than Cowell has done all game.
No, that's true. Talk about another overrated player, Cade Cowell. Way overrated. Has no left foot at all. At all. None. No left foot. Can't dribble except for north and south. And he has one move, just like the guy who plays for Pumas. Forgot his name. But he was a one-trick pony. And right now, that's what Cade Cowell is, unless you play him on the right. Yeah, the American kid. Starts with an S.
He played in the Olympic qualifiers.
Yeah, fuck it.
The last Olympic qualifiers.
Yeah, anyhow, most people will probably remember it before we will. So,
Chris Gary, I'm going on good faith here that this is not a joke. But Pete said Clark to Bruges.
No, not again. Everyone that goes to Bruges gets fucked.
Bruges likes having their Yanks sit the pine.
Yeah, I think this is an ideal landing spot. Oh, I didn't even get to finish that.
Sorry.
Does Pete not know the U.S. history with Bruges? Exactly, Chris. Good point. Yeah, send him somewhere else. Send him to, I don't know, the Netherlands. Send him to Belgium's fine, but not Bruges. Please, no more Bruges. Send him to Antwerp. Hang out with Vines. Drink some good Belgian beers. Nate, where's Vicky? Easy on Clark, everyone. Oh, God. Nate, what is with your...
I think they're doing this to you on purpose.
Let me read it how you wrote it. Easy on. Clark, everyone. I bet Cuba and Canada U20 push Grenada for a result. And Ferreira missed 3 gummies. It's got to be gimmies. I don't do gummies anymore.
I think Ferreira missed out on 3 edibles is what he said.
That's what I said. I don't do gummies anymore. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
All right. What? I don't even remember what he said now.
Basically said easy on Clark. He bets that Cuba U20s and Canada U20s could push Grenada for a result, and that Ferreira missed 3 opportunities in that match.
Yeah, but Ferreira played against big boys.
That's what he's saying, though. He goes. He feels that the Cuban and the Canadian team U20s could compete with the Grenadian national team seniors.
No, they couldn't.
I didn't see anything from the Grenada team that warranted otherwise. But again, I guess they're playing against our A team for the most part.
The Grenada team is made up of USL players, a lot of USL players, and some domestic talent.
And 9th Division English sides.
Yes, but still, it's going to be better than the U20 Canadian team. Those kids are horrible. They were fucking awful. Yeah. I'm sorry. They just were. I mean, I'm not impressed at all. Except for like one player. I like that right kid, that tank. Like that guy. That's about it.
Who's their the right back? Who's
I was just gonna say him too, but you know,
Ferdinand, or was that a different guy?
No, that's the right. That's a center back, or right center back. You're talking about the right winger. You're not talking about the guy with the big afro, are you?
I'm talking about the big afro. I thought he kept. He kept Cal at it. So not saying a lot, I guess, but
he's not bad.
I thought he was fine.
But yeah, I'm just not impressed with anybody on that team. So, except for Wright so far, just because he's a tank and he scores. He scored goals for them when they needed him. All right, some guys thag. Some guys thag. Thag. Is that a word? Think maybe should be. Some guys thag should be here that you probably, of course, will leave off. Roldan, Altidore, Morris, Bradley, Fry, Farrell, Lima. Some guy's tag. What does that mean? Should be there. That you probably, of course, will leave off. Thag.
Maybe
Roldan.
it's starting to see like some guys I think should be there, but then he ended up changing it and never edited. I don't know.
We're going to leave off? No, we're just telling you who Greg's going to leave off. But Roldan has a good shot of making it. Altidore, not a shot in hell. Morris, not a shot. Yeah, he's got a shot. Fry has no shot. Farrell has no shot. Lima has no shot. And I'm just telling you what Gregg thinks. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm not living in a magic world, Disney World. I'm just going to tell you the real deal. And right now, Lima, Farrell, Fry, get that fucker off so I can. Bradley, there's no shot.
Raymond's got it. Actually,
no, I'm
not
kidding. But I actually watch soccer. What?
So don't think too much into the what's being said here, because this is a to drill into the account, and I'll show you the dates. But this is an account that was created on June 2022. Just leave that out there, Derek.
Oh, okay. Somebody who made a like backdoor account, basically.
The sock puppet burner account, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Spencer, listen, if you think that they should be on the team, that's fine with me. You're allowed to think whatever you fucking want. I'm just telling you who's gonna be on the team. And Altidore ain't making it.
Everybody's calling it. It's that. Not thing.
Some guys that should be there. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, the word thag just threw me for a loop. I'm like,
you really got to enunciate that too, Derek. You're going to get caught one of these days.
Oh, fuck. God, you're right. Maybe he's trying to get us in trouble because thag sounds a lot like a really bad word.
Yep.
Word we don't say on this show or in real life. All right. Okay. So maybe that was his whole intent, to get us in trouble. Anything else? Oh, yeah.
We got the last window for the end.
All right. We saved this for the end. Saudi. Okay, so folks, we picked Saudi Arabia and Japan as our friendlies for the last two matches. Is that good, bad, indifferent? What the fuck was that? I mean, why couldn't we pick better teams to play against? Who is Saudi Arabia supposed to mimic or mock? Iran?
Iran, I guess.
I don't know, man. Let's see if they played Iran. They play Iran? I don't see this. Let's see. No.
I think they're in different groups.
Yeah. I mean, they did beat Japan. That's kind of surprising.
A lot of 1-0 games here, man. They must have Berhalter as coach. Kidding.
They didn't beat anybody. Japan's impressive so far. Ouch, and a loss to Jordan. Oof. And they beat Oman twice. Great. They lost. Then they lost to Japan 2-0. So I don't know what to make of this team. I've just watched highlight videos so far. There are a bunch of guys that play on 7 different Saudi Arabian teams, so they all know each other really well. They're all domestic. They did lose to Venezuela and Colombia. The Colombia loss, okay, but Venezuela, that's fine too, I guess, but they're losing. They're losing a lot. They beat Australia.
They also drew Australia too.
So it looks like they're just kind of a low-scoring defensive team. And that's sort of that hit on the counter. And that is kind of Iranish, I guess. So we'll see.
They also did tie China. I just saw the first one where they beat them 3-2.
Yeah, and China's not that good. Let's not fool ourselves. So yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed. I would like to play someone in the top 25. That would be my goal. Both teams we play should be in the top 25. That's going to really prepare you. Unless you just want to play two teams you know you can beat. And so you go into the World Cup with lots of confidence, which can be a dangerous thing to do, by the way. Lots of confidence. You have too much confidence sometimes.
It can be bad. It can be good. I mean,
you take shit for granted sometimes. You're like, oh, we're badasses. Fuck yeah. And then Japan, ranked 24. I did like this one a little more. And I don't know if they're supposed to be replicating Wales, but that would be my best guess. And those are the two teams we need to beat.
Or Wales. One against Ghana. That's not shabby.
No, it's not.
But then they followed up with a 0-3 to Tunisia.
Yeah, that's most recent. I don't know. That's a really big flip-flopper there. beating Ghana 4-1. And this isn't the Ghana your grandmother remembers. So that makes sense. And I don't know
the
who
Ghana that we remember.
No. Because Ghana was superpower at one point in Africa, but only losing to Brazil when nothing's kind of impressive. I don't know who Brazil played in the game. I didn't watch it, but that's not a bad result for them. So
yeah,
you know.
and I haven't really obviously I haven't really watched much of Japan, but just historically speaking, they're very methodical, very.
They tried to bring the tiki taka.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, in Japan. Yeah, and that's the women too, and Japanese women. They play kind of a tiki-taka style too. So a lot of short passes, a lot of possession. But that, might depend on the team they play too. But they have a decent roster. They got guys playing at some good teams. Not great, good, but a lot of domestic people and domestic team players there. And that never bodes well. And I'm not saying the J League is bad, but it ain't great. It ain't great. So I thought they would have less domestic players, honestly, this time around. But I guess when I think about it, they really don't have a lot. Like, it's not like Korea, who has they have players playing everywhere. Germany, England, Switzerland, Belgium, France. The Korean players are everywhere. South Korean players, North Koreans. They only play fake soccer and have fake World Cups where they win it. So I don't know. I wasn't happy. I would have liked harder competition, stiffer competition. I would have liked to not necessarily gone into the World Cup humbled, but let's say you play in Argentina and you come away with a 0-0 tie or a 1-1 tie. That's going to make you feel really good going into the World Cup. But I guess if you lose to Argentina 4-0 going into a World Cup, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, you kind of have to weigh it out. We think it's going to be more beneficial that close to the World Cup.
I can tell you what Klinsmann would have done. He would have picked teams in the top 20. Greg, maybe this is a younger team than Klinsmann ever had, so he wants to keep their confidence up. He wants them to believe. In fact, he did a PowerPoint. I don't know if you saw that in the U.S. soccer behind the scenes or behind the whatever.
I believe PowerPoint. Is this meant for the women's national team?
No, but it was, what's that? What do they call that? Behind the what?
Behind the crest?
Behind the crest. I was going to say behind the balls, but that would just be taint.
That would have been funny. No, come on, I would have handed that to U.S. Soccer if they had a show go behind the balls.
That would be a great show. Come on.
That would be a hit. People would always watch it.
Tons of technical references in it, but they wouldn't actually use that, Anyhow, behind the balls, behind the crest, they had a show and he did a little, and he brought up the trophy, right? The trophy, World Cup trophy. And he said, this is what we're really aiming for in the end. This is what we're going for.
No shit.
Why not us? Why not us? Why not?
Why knight us?
Why not?
We're not English. Nobody's going to knight us.
Queen Elizabeth doesn't care. All right. Yeah. And I don't know. It was another one of his PowerPoints. But it was good. It was all right. It was fun. I like the behind the balls. Crest series. All right, I think we're done here, folks. We had a blast. We hope you did too. We always do, or if we're not having fun, we're just not going to do the show anymore.
Fortunately, we both like to talk.
Well, the last time we stopped the show was not because we weren't having fun. It's just we weren't having fun in our real lives. There's too much to do. I was on 4 or 5 boards. You were having children all over the place. Just they're plopping out left and right. We just had to stop the show.
Allegedly. There's no evidence that they're mine. No, the two here are, yes.
Okay. Does EB know about these other?
We always crack jokes about it.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad she has a sense of humor about your extracurricular activities.
Oh, no. The joke is whether or not these two are mine.
Oh. The milkman. It was
funny because when Jackson was born, there was a black family that had a baby down the hall, and they were walking around their child. I turned to eBay and go, do you think that they would be upset if I asked if I could take a picture of their baby and we could send it to all of our friends and say, hey, look, Jackson's born?
Does Jackson have male pattern baldness yet?
Not yet, no.
Well,
So
when
we're making sure he goes through all his haircuts now because it's bound to happen.
When he turns 12 and he doesn't have it, then you're in trouble, maybe.
12?
Yeah,
do you think we start losing our hair?
He's going to start losing it early, right? I don't know. Well, you were
Being some 18-year-old balded kid that's running around the fields at high school. No, that's not. No.
What year did you start? How old were you when you started losing your hair?
Probably when I started noticing it was just after college. Maybe it happened during college. I just never really noticed. But I still at least had my line, you know.
Yeah.
Ish. I had like widow's peace, I guess. But
God, hit me when I was 44.
Life sucks.
And then it really hit me at 47 when I was in the hospital for a month and almost died, and all my intestines fell into my balls. Then I started losing hair like crazy. And I'll tell that story someday about how I almost died. And it'll be fantastic because it was a harrowing story. If anybody cares, let me know below whether or not you want to hear about the day I almost died. All right? Let me know, and I'll tell it sometime. The turd in the background. Hey, Brett, you look like my wife's personal trainer. Is this going to turn into a
Buchanan.
a fucking porn joke?
Hey, you know,
a cuck joke? Is this what this is going to turn into?
Turd, I swear we were just doing some yoga. And it was all consensual too, so
don't worry, the turd
keep that in
filmed it.
mind.
The turd filmed it. He had a camera in there, hidden camera.
Narrating the entire thing too.
He just doesn't trust his wife. All right, guys, we love you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Thank you. Subscriptions. Last time I said, fucking hit the subscribe button, and people did. So I'm going to say it again. Yay. Fucking hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, which most of you have. But, you know, I'm sure there's some new people who got this far. Right. New people get this far in the show. No, they won't. But, okay, we love you. Mwah, we will see you. Have a great weekend. Later.
Do it again. Fuck. And like it. That's way too many likes. I got a comment on a channel. Fuck. Oh. Yeah. That should probably do. It should probably do. That should probably do.
That hurt. More verticality.